This is what I was just about to say. Let's take a minute just to pray in first. Phil, since we're a little bit behind, Pastor or
Prayer Center.
Hannah, would you love to open?
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for being here this evening. We know you could be doing anything other than being here, but quite naturally, you all appreciate the work that's being done, and we appreciate you all being a part of the work that we are doing. Quite naturally, you know, this is something that's been going on for, 20 years, and everyone has an impact and has been impacted in one form or fashion with it. And this is what community is about. We're extremely excited about what's going to occur and what has been done thus far. And quite naturally, before we do anything, we want to go to the throne and give God His glory.
And right after that, we're going to ask everybody, starting with you, to introduce yourself and tell us what organizations you might be connected to and what interests you. All right.
Father, we come right now in the majestics and Walter's name. We thank you for us coming together to collaborate to do this great opportunity for our community to celebrate 20 years of Katrina. Bless all those who are here. Bless their family. Bless their children. Bless everything that's connected to them. We thank you for this day. It's in Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Lord.
My name is George Green Jr. I'm Senior Pastor of House of Hill and Outreach Ministries. Also CEO, founder of GKB, Global Kingdom Business. Also do a lot of stuff in economics, and excited about being a part of this here.
My name is Timothy Simmons. I'm the son of Pastor George Green, and I'm here to help out any way I could.
Okay, Robert Green. I'm with the original Rooftop Riders organization. We've been doing our thing for the last 20 years, and we're planning for the 20th anniversary. So this is not nothing new to me.
How y'all doing? My name is Tamika Kelvin. I am the vice president for 9 Times Kids. So I'm here in representation of my kids and my children. I call them mine because even though they're not all biologically mine, they are still my kids, my babies. So I believe we were asked to be here, so we came in just ready to step in however we need to. But I also have ties in the culture because I parade with ladies and men in class, and I'm also a Black Mexican Indian. I'm with Black Flame Hunters uptown, and I'm the big queen for them as well. So, whatever you guys need, I'm here to be able to do my due diligence, not just for the night walk, but for New Orleans, period.
Thank you.
My grandma back there somewhere.
Thank you.
She was walking.
Oh, sorry about that.
If one win, we all win, right?
Straight up.
So, wherever y'all need me.
Boots on the ground.
That's fine.
Appreciate it. What's going on? You walking around on time. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, hi everybody, I'm Dr. Shepherd. Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Cassandra Shepherd. I'm in the African American Diaspora Studies Department over at Xavier University. And I am coming in to be able to help people when it comes to research and see what it is that I can contribute along with my students. So thank you all.
Hi, everyone. I'm known as Auntie Faith. I have my own nonprofit, which is Sisters on the Struggle. We also do Youth Day NOLA. I'm CES 45 aunt. I work with Phil and Positive Minds. I also work with a whole lot of y'all around the circle. So, yeah, with Mike B and with Doc and with Dr. Shepherd here. But we're all here for the 20th anniversary of Katrina, and just here to do the work. Want to see New Orleans do better.
All right.
Introduce yourself. We just missed it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oscar Brown. I am the director of Drop Night Board. blocking from here. Also,
Report at the same
the
time.
organizer for, what we call it, the riot every year, fest that we plan on having, the Saturday before.
Y'all heard me?
That was fire this year.
So yeah, Seth invited me last month, but I was real busy and got a chance to be here today, so.
That's our online folks, that's who you are holding the mic for, guys.
We can hear you now.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Okay. Y'all.
Hi, my name is Jack Newman. I'm with the Step Up Aim High nonprofit organization. I'm a part of the Media and Communications Committee.
All right, I wasn't sure when it was coming.
So just join that and I'm excited.
Mike B, upfront boy, true commemoration, CEO of Backdoor Community, where we do a lot of work with Carl Washington, in the name ward, and whenever he need us to do that, we do, represent him too, so we just here to do our part, you know.
Greetings, everyone. How y'all doing? My name is Carl Washington. I'm an international radio producer. Y'all might see the Rise Up sign down the street. Part of the building in Vanguard, up in Vanguard in particular. I'm being brought on as the production manager, logistics, stage manager, executor. So I'll be the person responsible for all the logistics. Stage, sound, video, run a show. You name it as it relates to the event and its production needs, artist needs, so forth and so on. So I've done 3, I think we've done two site visits. I'll be looking to present logistics on what we discussed, things that we're going to be implementing as a part of the event. All that will be coming in writing soon. Thank you.
I am Everest Robinson, better known as King Cali. Been around for a while working in media production side of things. I am one half of Flight Zone Media. I'll be working on with the media team. I'll also be working on the documentary, working hand in hand with Seth and anybody as is needed moving forward. Or anything as far as the media side of things go, as far as production and helping our hand in as far as the logistics and day of show, things like that, and any way that we can. And
my name is Michael. I'm the other half of Flight Zone Media. Mostly working on, I'm pretty much head of photography for the documentary, so all the equipment and everything else, and then just support for wherever's needed. Really just here to make sure everything gets taken care of, things get taken care of.
And once again, my name is Phil Brock, Positive Minds, Positive Movement, Fast Academy Foundation, community activist, part of Youth Day NOLA, part of Thrive with our basketball operations being ran out of there. I mean, just whatever's needed, whatever work is necessary to be done, we put our boots on the ground and being a part of the change in our community.
Yeah, they all.
Good evening, Seth 45, Lawless Katrina Commemoration Foundation, Youth Day NOLA, 200 male leaders, entrepreneur. So I appreciate everybody, of course, coming through for tonight. We have a lot of updates so that everybody can be updated on just where we at up to this point, and also everything that we have coming for the future, especially with picking different committees and chairs so that we can delegate some of the work so that everybody can play a role in making sure this thing is, done to the highest level possible. So, and then we can do some, minutes just to catch everybody up, and then we'll get started with that.
I'm Dr. Jeffrey Ambrose. I'm with the Third Line NOLA, community activist, scientist, and I'm just here to help out and do my part. I think that's good enough.
Minutes.
All right, so last time we went over, we did a budget overview over the general budget. We talked about some of our fundraising updates. The first jersey was sold, possible fundraising event, the K20 cocktails attire event, and some other future fundraising opportunities. We had some marketing wins, posters and flyers distribution is in process. Tapped in with some radio advertisers regarding campaign insights. We talked about the moment of silence, that the national moment of silence, how we talked to some dignitaries about getting into some other cities and some different universities to observe a moment of silence on Katrina Day. And that the resolution for Katrina Day will be submitted in the next legislative session. Connected with Councilman Oliver Thomas, who will present one to the City Council. Thought about the stage manager that was hired. And just basically about all of the events and installations that we'll have. We'll have an art mural, we'll have an exhibition that's going to be going on. We got the permit for the K20 Martin Second Line. The location of the documentary filming has been booked, and will commence in the upcoming weeks. We talked about highlighting Adley Earhart as part of it, as one of the artists. He's got a new song. His father was captured in the iconic picture associated with Katrina, and and that's also his birthday, so it was that aspect. We opened the floor, and we just talked about different ideas, from press to fundraising to reaching out to different people as sponsors and getting different youth involved, and adding Katrina story videos to social media, which we've already started doing. And then the action item we came to was having the committees meet in between the last meeting and this meeting, and then choose a chair, and then the core team was developing a timeline and a budget for all the events. Well, fleshing out the budget for all the events. We already had a tentative budget. So yeah, that's pretty much the minutes from last meeting.
All right, we got two people that just came in, and we're gonna catch you too. We want y'all to introduce yourselves.
Make sure everybody scans the QR code to sign in.
Okay.
That's important, so we can get your information, we can contact you, you can be added to the email list, the call list, the group meet chat.
All right. They heard it. Go ahead.
Hello y'all, how y'all doing? Hello y'all, how y'all doing? My name is Elijah.
That's just for the people on the screen.
So my name is Elijah. I'm here just seeing in what ways I could, help assist this event. Representing my brand is poverty. that's what I'm motivating people to, you know, chase their goals, elevate, get closer to their dreams. So I feel like this will be a perfect event for me to help out.
Good evening, I am Kiana, yeah, they call me Q. My background is media, marketing, radio, travel, many different things. And similar to Elijah, I'm here to see how I could be a resource in making this exactly what it needs to be and more for the commemoration this year.
Alright, so, Dr. Jeff passing out a committee list to everybody. So we got 6, 7 committees where, you know, everybody in this room can play a role as far as, you know, where your strengths are. So, like, this is our core right here, this room right here. So if you're in this room, if you're on the, you know, the online screen, you know, you play a pivotal role in making this event happen, you know, on a high level. And so, this list of names is just some of the folks that signed up so far. Like, we want to take the time right now really to elect chairs and co-chairs for each of these committees, so that everybody can be accountable for a sector of the work. And then the people that's in those committees can coordinate some meetings outside of this meeting and get some of the work done. So when we come back in 2 weeks, you know, y'all able to report back the same way, you know, we gonna do in this particular space. And so if you don't see your name, you know, on the list, you can look through the names of the committees and see where you would like to most use your expertise in that particular, you know, area. Let's write you down on the list, we add you to the list, but then let's pick who will be the chairs to those spaces.
So y'all can use this QR code to sign up for a committee. The descriptions of the roles and responsibilities of each committee are also listed there. There's also a sheet here and a sheet on this side that you guys can pass around if you, that has the same information contained in it. So,
yeah, so we want to make sure that like we meeting in between these meetings, because we're gonna ramp it up the closer we get. So right now we just meeting, you know, bi-monthly, you know, so you know, bi-weekly, you know. So once we meet, I want to say at least in the next, you know, 2 months, you know, April and May, then we're gonna have to like kind of ramp it up a lot more. So we want to make sure the subcommittees having an opportunity to map out everything that needs to be done. So when y'all reporting back, we can just really get all, everybody get informed, updated, and then like we just moving like a well-oiled machine collectively. And
Okay, for the Advocacy and Literacy Committee, I made a group text, and if you have your name on that group, I need you to enter that text and say when are you available and the best time to get in touch with you. Now, I just took it on myself to create the committee, text, because it has to start somewhere. So that does not mean that I am automatically the chairperson, but I want to get the ball rolling because I am on 2 committees. So the second committee is Event Planning and Logistic Committee. If you're on that group, in that committee, I'm also asking that you enter into the text and let me, I'll let the group know when you're available or the best time to reach you And if you all have someone in mind for either committee that you're already thinking of as a chairperson, or if you want, I know I'm in both groups, Phil's in both groups, so I'm just saying out there, I'm throwing that out there. It would be nice if we could get somebody who was in both groups and just get the ball started as in one of the committee members. I'm willing to take on that position if agreed upon, either one committee or, well, I don't know if it's gonna be a committee, person for both, but at least one of the committees.
All right, so let's start with one of the committees you on. And you say you on,
Event planning.
All right, so who else in here is on event planning? I see Phil name
Yeah.
on here, Kiana is on here.
Here, I got the whole
Okay,
group
no,
right here.
well, we all got it. We got one right there. So, anybody want to jump out and,
Anybody else wanna be on that committee
Could
that?
you define what that is? So that we know what's it entail.
Your
So can we pass the papers around so we
You
can?
ain't got it?
Not with the committee description.
Yeah, the digital, here, I could, yeah.
Let's read out what the committee consists of, individuals that don't know.
So which one we talking about right now?
The event planning and,
So the Events Planning and Logistics Committee.
yeah.
The role, plan, coordinate, and execute all commemorative events, ensuring smooth logistics and meaningful community participation. The responsibilities are as follows. Finalize the schedule and details for all Katrina 20 events, including the annual march and associated activities. Identify Black-owned businesses as key locations along the march route. Work closely with the Finance Committee to manage budgets and logistics for venues, permits, and production needs. Coordinate volunteer efforts and ensure proper staffing for all events. Ensure accessibility, security, and crowd management at all planned events. Oversee event registration, guest speakers, community engagement strategies.
Okay, did everybody get that? That's the new people. So if that's a committee that y'all wanna be on, let me know and I can add y'all to the text. And then the next question is, while we on that committee, who is it y'all think y'all want to be the chairperson? We just got the names, since you said everybody has the names already.
I can pick a lead.
Okay.
When it entails the logistics, when it entails production, when it entails stage management, I'm in.
So you wanna take the lead of that committee? Okay, that's fine.
No, I'm just saying in terms of being responsible for those elements and knowing who's responsible. Now, people come on board and be a part of the team in terms of logistics, in terms of laying out, say for instance, the march, in terms of what's gonna take place on the march, in terms of PA, video, so forth and so on. So that we have that laid out in terms of what that look like, and then I'll do logistics in terms of visual. As it relates to the festival, in terms of the stage, it's 100 or 200, I'm looking at what stage it's gonna be, the sound, generators, the logistics.
Okay, so what I'm asking you, sir, is this. Are you saying you want to be the chair of the whole, of the committee itself that we're discussing, which has more than just the stage and more than just the, okay, so that's not what you're saying.
Not the chair for.
Okay, that's what we're looking
Okay,
for
for the
right
chair.
now. Right now, we're looking for the chairperson.
Okay.
So that's all I'm trying to clear up. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
The people on this committee, events planning and logistics, are there any people that are already signed up that are already doing this, like have the template laid, have worked with the businesses along the route?
No.
And that's okay, I just wanted to know, because I would say that might be an easy turnkey situation.
But we don't have that in place. That's what this committee is to do. But we need a chairperson right now. That's what we.
So I'm gonna jump out the window here and be a chair. I could be co-chair. And Carl, you could be co-chair as well. You know what I'm saying? But like, just because I have a lot of the information, but anybody else who wanna assist in the events planning committee that's already signed up, because I'm not on here, so I'm gonna get on this committee as well. And you two, and so us three can
collaborate on that.
Y'all bring the co-chair. Okay. Got that one down. Let's go to the next.
Just to clarify, the chair gonna be the lead, but they gonna come and give the reports at these meetings.
Right.
So everybody's gonna be chipping in as far as being a part of the committee and contributing, you know, but the chair is gonna give the reports and kind of just take lead and initiative.
So just up to this group.
Nah, we gonna do it
another group,
another time. We ain't gonna do it right now. But so let's go to the next one that you in the advocacy in legislative. All right. So that's Aretha, Ms. Shepherd, Dr. Shepherd, Farida Warren, Philip Brock, Rashid Atwater. You gonna scratch Ronald Marshall out? He not a part of that. Sharif Cousin and Tracy Washington, who just walked in the room. I'm throwing you on that committee, Miss Washington. But you too. All right. Pastor Green.
So scan and sign up. So that QR code right there.
So can somebody read the advocacy and
Advocate for policy changes, legislative actions, and community representation in disaster response and recovery efforts. Work with legislators to establish Katrina Day as a recognized city, a state holiday. Support legal initiatives and advocacy efforts and imperative policies addressing disenfranchised communities affected by Katrina. Collaborate with national organizations and government officials to promote the national moment of silence for Katrina victims.
So I'm gonna be a bully, and I'm gonna put Pastor Green as the co, along with Ms. Tracy as the co for those two.
I just got on it.
That's all right. You got the muscle, baby. You got the muscle. My God said you utilize the wisdom, David. Now, we gonna work this together though. You know, it's not all work on one individual.
May I ask something, because I'm new, and thank you, Seth, for inviting me to be a part of this. This is wonderful. The aspirations for each of the committees is that you just read. We're looking for all of it, part of it, a little bit of each. How is that process working?
Okay, so we looking for all of it and more, actually. So it's not, subject just to the things that's, on that particular list. So we asking for the folks in the advocacy and legislative committee to come with their expertise, so that you can suggest, craft, and frame some of the work. So some of the stuff is already ongoing, some of the Katrina Day stuff, and when we get into some of the updates, we're gonna share a lot of the things that's already ongoing and happening, but some of the legislative stuff, some of the folks in this space doing like research and different things, and they have a lot of youth, and we have other bodies that's doing the research part, and so we want to combine all of those things together. So we bring in the research, your expertise, your suggestions, everybody that's in the committee suggestions, and craft what the advocacy look like, and also, like I said, we're gonna update some of the other information so y'all get updated, and then when y'all get in the committee conversations after today, then y'all get to share all the information that y'all put together and then bring it back to the body and then help frame the whole piece on how we move forward from an advocacy perspective and the legislative perspective. Hopefully that.
I just wanted to add that before you got here, we started with these two groups because I already have a text message group of those two committees, and so you just have to be added, and Pastor Brown just have to be added, and then y'all could decide whether we do a video chat or a text chat or however y'all want to communicate from there. We can make that happen today. Would be good because what we're trying to do is get information on what we have accomplished within the 2 weeks before the next meeting. So to explain all that to the people that just joined in the two groups.
And like I said, if you haven't joined, if y'all hear something that you know that's your area that you want to contribute and just share, you want to read the
sign the QR code.
So let's do the media and communications committee. I'm not sure. I know y'all been communicating already. Have y'all picked chairs and all that?
So we haven't picked chairs yet. I definitely nominate you as chair. Q. I mean, well, okay. When we first, we kind of talked, we all kind of like, you know, came a meeting of the mind and realized some of the things we need to do. And when I looked at your email address, I was like, oh yeah, she's the chair. Yeah, it's like media act, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so as far as things that we've done, we started a little group chat. I was gonna go ahead and start a band group so we could share any information and stuff like that inside of it. I know we started a group chat. I think one other person was added to the group, so we might have to start another one. But I was gonna go ahead and start a band, and I nominate you as the chair. I nominate myself as co-chair for anything you need to back you up as far as support on logistics and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You point, I shoot, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I understand, you know what I'm saying, you got the expertise, and I don't mind, you know what I'm saying, being behind your leadership as far as getting the job done, you know what I mean? I like being on the winning team, so.
You almost sold me.
Can you read the description just for everybody else in here that might want to join in?
Yes.
You on that one, Mike? You on that?
Media and Communications Committee role, manage all public relations, branding, and outreach efforts to promote Katrina 20 events and initiatives. The responsibilities are as follows: develop and distribute press releases, social media content, and email campaigns. Design, produce promotional materials, including banners, flyers, and digital media assets. Identify and establish relationships with media partners for event coverage and public engagement. Organize media campaign in collaboration with the Hip Hop Caucus of New Orleans Katrina Week. Conduct audience and market research to enhance outreach strategies and community engagement. Maintain consistent branding and messaging across all platforms.
That sounded like a big assets.
As far as the people that we have communicated with, we did have one meeting. Michael and I had a meeting with Ali Ahart. I know you heard him mentioned earlier as one of the headlining artists. We did have a meeting with him last week. We have another meeting scheduled with him next week, kind of scheduling our meetings in between those. I do fault myself for not including everybody on the group text on that meeting. The next one, I will include everybody so we can all come together as far as like putting heads together, things like that. As far as Michael is concerned, as far as the branding, the graphic design, and the creative side, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, we got that taken care of. We're communicating well with everybody in it, so any ideas that y'all do have, let's bring them to the table and let's come to a cohesive thought. And then also, I'm real good with continuity. So I try to really stay focused on, you know, that consistent branding and things like that. So I'll try to be focused on keeping track of where we at in progress and things like that. So whatever we need to do, execute, you and I can have our own, you know what I mean, between us. I know we've been working with Sino as well. So any ideas, we could bring them and move forward and execute. I know we have a lot of people on our team But, I mean, it's a lot of powerhouses that bring a lot to the table, so I feel like we can execute and get a lot done.
I have a question. When you talk about branding, what do you mean?
So, my brother, you wanna, show off that nice piece of,
It's dirty right now, you can't revert, yeah, excuse me.
You know, as far as the branding goes, we want to keep consistent with some of the things that we have. We have the jersey that says presented. I mean, that thing is beautiful. So we want to start putting things like that in people's faces and attaching those to what we're doing. Seth does have the flyers and some of the posters. We got out a little bit, putting some posters in some of the stores and for people that we know locally and stuff like that. But as far as that goes, yes, sir.
Okay, so then how does what I do fit into what y'all do?
Tell me what you do.
Okay, what I do is, I have shirts just like y'all have shirts.
Okay.
I sell the shirts, I have media contacts, and I use those contacts. So just want to understand whether we're gonna have one brand or different brands or what brand.
So the brand guide is in respect to how we communicate on media, on printed materials, on that type of stuff. Of course, if you do t-shirts, we want to be consistent, but just you being a part of that committee, they'll kind of give you some ideas of what that looks like within this committee. Like, we want to have the logo on everything. We want to have, like, you got a logo on the top of this sheet right here. So just consistent, using the same fonts, the same colors, the same style guide. And we're gonna talk about that in a little bit, because we've been working with somebody to come up with a style guide who's already on your team, so you guys can kind of come together on that and kind of flesh that out. And so does that answer your question?
Not really.
Let me ask, okay, I'm looking at here, okay, we have to see what what you started separately from what he has going on. So then, once we started, he come under the umbrella with us, but he don't mind coming under the umbrella, but he don't want to lose his identity. That's what I'm missing, that's what I hear. He don't lose his identity as the original rooftop rider. But right now, no, but I mean, that's a part of it. You're not trying to lose your identity. You want to know how Georgia, you're going to figure it out.
So what I'm guessing is that kind of goes hand in hand with what we was kind of talking about with the last committee, as far as locating black-owned businesses along the route and different things like that. So I think that will be worked hand in hand with that committee as far as that goes, because you're a black-owned business and you're a part of what we're going. So of course we want to show, you know what I'm saying, lend show support to that as well. So I mean, that would just be a conversation for what branding we're using moving forward on that committee, and getting the approval from that committee as well. I think that's just a cross branding between the committees. I understand what you're saying. I think that's fair. And I look forward to working with you to seeing, you know what I'm saying, the different contacts in the media, stuff like that, because like I said, you know, that's what I'm into, that's what we're into. So I feel like, you know, iron sharpens iron, we can work well and, you know what I'm saying, get a lot accomplished, you know what I mean?
Okay. Wonderful.
What was your name?
Robert Green.
Robert Green, all right. I just wanted to put it again. I heard you say it earlier, but not in there.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
And I'll introduce myself again. I'm Tracy Washington. I'm a local attorney and recent public policy PhD. None of that matters much. That the court will not get you on the bus in the city. But one of the things when you mentioned the style guide and the branding, one of the things I'm thinking about is how is the group itself organized? Is this incorporated such that if you create a brand, it's your brand, it's trademarked, that can't be usurped by someone else? Is this a legal entity? I'm sorry to get all legalistic, but is,
Yes.
okay. Yes, in answer to my question?
Yes, yes. That's the only.
No, I didn't know if you were acknowledging what I said, but yes.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a legal entity incorporated.
And you want to elaborate on
Well, I don't want to get too far away from where we at, because we only speaking on the committee. Who
No,
gonna
I
be a
didn't
part
mean
of
to,
it.
I didn't mean to go farther than that, except for wanting to make sure that became integrated
That's
with
good,
the
'cause I
branding.
can respond to Mr. Green as well, but I don't wanna get too far away from what we doing, so we can stay on, you know, point.
You wanna keep one down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, when my understanding is when we first started talking about branding, it was because we want to make sure that this group is recognized for what it's doing for the 2025th anniversary, as well as for the last 18 years, 19 years. Okay, with that being said, that's the reason for the branding. It has nothing to do with your particular organization as a whole. This is a whole entity on its own. So if someone's coming in with a partnership with us or joining us, then they are under that brand, under that umbrella already. As he said, you know, with the different people that will be working with us as grocery stores and, you know, businesses in the neighborhood and all the bands and all of the people like Dr. Shepherd, and because we all have our own thing. I have a nonprofit, but I'm not going to look for any recognition in that because it's more important that we keep our focus on the main event, which is Katrina 25 this year, and we want to really put a spotlight on the pain and the joy that came from that. So that is the goal, and that has to be the unified idea and principle of this work we're doing now.
You mean Katrina
That's all I'm saying.
25 this year, not the 25th anniversary?
Yeah, 2020, 25, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanna move us forward, but also just to clarify with Mr. Green, you know, like you play a pivotal role in terms of your story and the whole Katrina story, period. And like you already understand like our relationships and role, how, you know, you've seen us do the Katrina anniversary, and then we've been joining, you know, forces, you know, ever since. And so the branded part that, you know, most of the folks talking about is just how does it look, you know, the colors, you know, the emblems and stuff like that. But as far as like individual, you know, items and your story and the spotlight, like you gonna get everything you've been getting and a million, I know it's just a million times more or whatever, but we also gonna share all of the stories. This is a collective, so this is a collective of people who do individual work, but we doing it collectively in this particular space. And the branding, we just want everybody holding up one flag, you know, one band, one sound type of joint. So I just wanted to come back on the committee piece and make sure they didn't have any objections to what the young brother suggested in terms of, you know, the chairs and the co-chairs, and then also ask if anybody who was on the committee wanted to up their level from just, you know, a member in terms of a chair based on their personal expertise and value that they add to the space, so that you can share in the accountability, in the responsibility also. So I just wanted to throw that out there so we can go to the next committee. So if anybody, you, okay, and
Because I'm gonna be actually creating a branding and style guide, so we're gonna be working.
That question was for you.
Yeah.
so go to another.
The next one is creative and culture. The role is to curate and oversee cultural and artistic components of the commemoration, sharing representation of the Katrina experience through various art forms. So they'll be identifying venues and planning the logistics of the Katrina 20 Film Festival, and as well as the art exhibition, organize and oversee the production of the documentary featuring diverse community narratives, recruit and collaborate local artists for exhibitions, murals, and public art installation, develop programs that incorporate music, visual arts, and performing arts to honor the legacy of Katrina, and coordinate cultural workshops and storytelling events to engage the community. Yeah.
So, right now in this room, I see 4 members that's actively in this committee. So do y'all, anybody heard something that's not on the committee that won't be added to the creative and cultural?
I can add myself to creative and cultural.
Go ahead, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Big queen in the house.
Y'all petty.
Did you,
No,
stand? So, yeah, stand. So, any volunteers in terms of, chairs and co-chairs?
I don't have a problem with chairing or co-chairing if need be.
This ain't,
I'm with it.
you gotta talk confidently and bold in this space.
It was already a given. But
I'm already pointing at you.
I'll go ahead and take over that piece.
So just say Sino in the mic, because Nicole taking notes.
So I'll be taking the chair lead for creative and culture. Yeah.
All right, any co-chairs?
I will gladly step up and co-chair, with you, my brother.
My dude.
Yeah.
And I think probably Kevin is gonna be a big part of that with the stuff at Studio B.
And we got the out of the studio. Watch out there now.
Yeah,
Ain't
man.
nothing on with it.
Yeah, man.
Okay, next.
So, we did events platform already.
So let's do data and research.
Yeah, that one's gonna be easy.
You wanna read the
Data and research. Conduct research, collect data, and provide historical and analytical context to support commemoration efforts, disaster preparedness, and disaster preparedness advocacy. Work with university and research institutions to analyze long-term social, economic, and cultural impacts. Katrina develop educational programs, publications, or community workshops based on the research findings to inform policy and preparedness efforts.
I would like to say that I and Dr. Rashid Atwater, my colleague from Xavier, he's on the Zoom, we'll co-chair it together.
Yeah, and I'm excited to,
I'll volunteer to serve. I published a couple of things and I can update them now, so.
Great, awesome,
Yes,
awesome.
yeah.
Put none in there too?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, I figured that would be fairly straightforward.
Sesame with the side eye so fast.
It wasn't sad. I just handed it.
Know where the football go, baby.
All right, so funding and finance, let's read that.
I do have a quick question about fundraising ideas. Now, we do have May 2nd, which is Give Nota Day coming up. Are y'all planning to make a post or set up anything for Give Nota Day so that people can be able to donate funds for the event?
Since our cultural, creative and cultural program mandated, the Queen suggested it, we do.
Just tell us where to be at and what time.
You signed up for it? You signed up for it?
No, we will.
The deadline, I think, is over.
Yeah, the deadline has
It was like
over.
last week, yeah.
No, but I looked at it online, it was still open, I believe.
I think Monday was the last day.
Monday was the last day.
Okay, we start talking about on Tuesday.
What I wanna do, I'm gonna make a personal $1,000 donation myself, personally for me. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take us to the lieutenant governor. So we need to have everything together when we go in now.
All right, go ahead on, clap that brother. All right, so read the.
Funding and finance subcommittee, secure and manage financial resources to support Katrina 20 events and initiatives, identify pursue potential funding sources, including grants, sponsorships, and donations, develop and implement fundraising strategies to sustain commemoration activities, work closely with businesses and community organizations to establish partnerships, oversee budget and planning and financial management for all subcommittees, ensure transparency and accountability in financial transactions and reporting, coordinate fundraising events and campaigns to support K20. That's kind of the same thing. Yeah, and that's it.
So, anybody not on this list that want to be on this funding and finance committee after hearing that description?
This is not me volunteering to be on the committee.
Okay.
I just had a quick question.
Okay.
Do we have a mission and sort of vision statement?
Yes.
Can you email that to me?
Yeah.
I can put together sort of a grant proposal skeleton and send that out to them.
So we also have some grant questions that we answered. We have a brief. We have a bunch of information that I can send you, and you'll have access to that. As long as you scan the QR code, I'll be able to share it with
Which
you.
one are they all the same QR codes?
It's the sign QR code. No, not that one. This one.
All right, so again, anybody named not on the committee, on the financial committee that want to be on there?
There is someone who was wondering how her name got on there.
It's in regards to the cocktail social.
Okay. The fundraising cocktail affair.
Also, is anybody online trying to say something we can't hear them? Because I'm not sure if they've been trying to speak
They don't
online.
still got their mics off.
Anybody trying to say something online?
Anybody want to be on the committee?
Well, Cotlas is on funding and fire. I'm calling people out, but
So can I ask from, well, I don't.
asking the mic.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, actually. I was just, obviously, paying attention. As far as funding and finance, I'm aware of, what needs to take place. I also heard you, go over the stipulations or whatever. So I'm in attendance. I'm just, obviously multitasking.
No, you good. I
wanna
just called your name because I knew you was on it. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just asking because I know we've been talking and I haven't heard nothing. I just wanted to make sure if you were online and you wanted to say anything about any of the conversation on the committees, just to have an opportunity to share.
Well, yeah, to be honest with you, I think I can definitely help in multiple groups, but I was actually just going to put a note in the group chat, the group me app, if you will, and just, I think that was one of the points you touched on earlier, that you just need the groups that you are interested in to, make a note, and then she would add it to the list. I think I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but she said at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, all right, I got him on the group chat. I don't know if I have him now.
No, I don't see his name on none of those. Which committee you wanted to be on? Which other committee you wanted to be on? No? So it was either events and planning.
You say it one more time because I had the phone turned on.
Event planning and logistics.
Okay.
Okay, we got to add it to it.
Background in event planning. I have event planning business actually.
Okay, we got to add it to it.
Data and research. I use a lot of data for sales and newsletters and basically the same practices that the third line is actually using already.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to get some help on my committee as well. I wanted to ask Brother Oscar and Brother Washington, because of the creative and cultural piece, this year we're doing something different as well from the standpoint of where we're going to be pushing cultural ambassadors, meaning people that give to the culture of New Orleans, that really give the life to it. You two brothers, to me, are, you know, epitomes of that, and we want to do that as well as get other people on board with that. That's the reason why I wanted, you know, extend my hand and ask y'all to help us with that beat. And the other thing is, I know you have the, what is it? The second line group. I know you big with that just as well as, so what we want to do this year too is all the second line groups, not just a couple of them. We trying to get everyone, if this is the cultural pieces that's a part of New Orleans and bring.
So you want all 42 groups?
If we can get all, we want all of them. We want all of them, because everything is this is a culmination of, just as well as, I remember my auntie speaking about it, she talked about Camille and Bessie, you know what I'm saying, and she talked about the things that happened then, right?
Yeah.
So if we gonna start doing, if we gonna do something the way we envision it, how we envisioned it for August 29th, we really need the participation from everybody, you know, so that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, just in response, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, Seth's invited me here, you know what I'm saying, I'm here. I'm a little bit, you know, he told me to come here and just learn, and I'm really here to like listen. I'm not trying to be that person that just come in and like get involved. I do have a lot going on. I am scared to fully commit that way, just because, you know, I am trying to finish the documentary, you know what I'm saying, so you know about that, I'm working hard on that. I am the CEO of Nine-Time Associated Pleasure Club, and the parade will be right after this, and, you know, but I am going to support, you know what I'm saying, as I can. I've been working on the stage name for Seth, and we've been in conversation about that. And also told Seth and Tamika to do the same thing. Best time to get all of those social clubs together is at the police headquarters when we have our meetings. I already invited Seth to that. He'll be right in front of all 42 clubs. You know what I'm saying? Now, that don't happen until July, but at least you don't want to tell them right now anyway, because they're going to forget. You know what I'm saying? You really want to wait to that time. But I appreciate that. I can't.
Definitely. As much as I can get from it, that's good enough for me.
And then trying to open a school in August also, that's enough.
Let's get that man to clap for that, man. Open up the school.
So, just great minds think alike, I had already spoken.
That's my cow.
All them joints in there. So, funding and finance, I'm gonna definitely share that piece. And then, Sharif, I'm gonna put Sharif on as a quote at the moment. Anybody else that wanna join, participate, let me know. And then the last one is, KCF core, that's pretty much.
No, that's not what
Yeah.
just, organized.
Alright, so, we'll move on to funding and, financial and funding updates. Sorry about that, see I sound muffled online. So, updates, we're about 85% complete on our budget. So we just mapping out everything in terms of the budget for not only the Katrina anniversary march, but a lot of the activations that we're doing, throughout the year. Some of this stuff gonna come up again, during some of the updates. But we got an advocacy day next month. And we organizing a bus ride, that's a part of the budget. We doing a mural on the levee walls. We got a climate comedy event, Katrina Film Day, a lot of the artists and the marketing, different things like that. So we still getting artists commitments. And so the budget is like just fluid at the moment because we haven't like finalized getting every component locked in. But like I said, we're about 80% close to being finalizing the budget.
And if you're on a particular team too, that is responsible for, say, a fundraising event or a documentary or something like that, it can be amenable, you know, because I know we have a budget for one of the documentaries that's set in stone, but the others, like, they can be amended. But yeah, like you said, we 85% like that.
Yeah, so we gon' by the next meeting on April 10th, we'll be able to pretty much finalize it. But they're gonna always have some miscellaneous, you know, costs that make it go up and down. But I want to at least submit the budget to this group so everybody can participate, and then also seeing what financial needs of each committee to make sure that everybody inside of those committees have the necessary tools to execute, you know, the work that they doing on a high level. So that's one of the tasks for the next 2 weeks for each committee, just mapping out what do you guys need to have a successful team organizing for the next 5 months to make sure we get the work done. The branding and communication part, my dude Jack is helping organize that. We agreed on like full colors for this year for the Katrina committee, for the Katrina 20 branding material, and you know, I believe by the next meeting we'll have a great layout. We have a lot of potential funders, sponsors, but we also want to get everybody in the room who have access to resources or potential funders. You know, we want to give y'all an opportunity to take our deck and email it and send it to y'all folks so we can include, you know, everybody, you know, on the final, you know, artwork and graphics when we get ready to, you know, push the button, you know, on the campaign. Jack, if you want to share anything?
You put me on the spot, but I guess to echo what Seth said, we just want to make sure that with the branding and style or whatever, that the messaging is the same. Like the first meeting I came to, I know I talked about how Katrina was traumatizing for me, right? So we definitely want to come up with messaging that's celebratory and people are excited about it. So with the media community, we kind of want to come up with the same logo, but maybe like a crest around it with some letters, some words and terms and messaging that's positive, where we all can get the city excited about, not just focus on the trauma that was attached to it, but, you know, just the celebration of where we are now. I know in our committee, we're gonna be doing a lot of video, a lot of social media, so we just want everything to look consistent, you know, where we look like we're worthy of the funding that we're really asking for this initiative, where we look like we have everything together. You know, for as colors, for as branding and messaging, and just being consistent. So, and I'm responsible for creating the sales kit as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna be doing that as well. So, we're gonna need the research and stuff from the research people, so we can put that together ASAP.
Yeah, and Jack, I'm looking forward to being a sounding board as far as ideas bouncing back and forth off each other. I've jotted down a few things that I thought about myself, just from the few meetings that we've had on our subcommittee, and as far as like, you know, here as a whole, just ideas that, you know, I'm looking forward to bounce off you, and you know what I'm saying, take those ideas and make them into actual situations. Looking forward to that.
Me too.
So, I want to give y'all some legislative updates. So we've sent State Representative Alonzo Knox our edits for the Katrina Day resolutions for those who in here for the first time, we've been working with State Representative Alonzo Knox on making August 29th Katrina Day. He put a resolution together. It's being submitted in the next legislative session in Baton Rouge. The session starts next month in April 14th. And I asked him for the date where we can organize a delegation to come to Baton Rouge in support of it, as well as get some of the other representatives to back the bill, the resolution. And so he shared with me that he can't give us a exact date because he don't know until like it come up a few days before. So we have to just kind of be ready and, you know, flexible. Like we're gonna get a charter bus and just have it ready for whatever day he give us the advance notice, and then we'll share it with the group here so that everybody know, and you know, we'll pick a spot and, you know, park our vehicles and ride up there, lunch on us, you know, and support the bill, come back, and then once we get that resolution on the state level, Oliver Thomas is going to do it in the city council, so we'll get that date once we do that. So that's the legislative update on that side from what we already, you know, had. I also had a meeting with the mayor's Katrina 20 committee 2 weeks ago. So the mayor have a Katrina 20 committee. They're planning on doing a workshop on August 29th and August 30th. And so it's gonna be in the convention center. They're doing a half day on the 29th and then a full day on that Saturday. And you know, I'm gonna just collaborate with them. I went there just to listen, like how you saying, Austin. I just came to listen and hear, you know, and B. Mike was president. You know, we were sharing different people who wasn't in the room, wasn't on the panel list, and who should be on there, you know, and I suggested you, Rob, and some other folks, you know, that I believe should be, you know, in the space. I don't really want to be in the space, just honestly, because I'm not for the workshop piece, just because it don't look communal, you know, to me. You know, we don't really go to the convention center and parking and all that kind of stuff. It don't look like that to me. I don't want to knock them, but I wanted to see at the table so that we could collab. And I also suggested, because they have a goal of, I think, fundraising for $750,000, and me and Asali, we all was like, you know, y'all gonna get that goal, which y'all don't, whatever y'all got extra, you know, throw us the crumbs and all that kind of stuff or whatever. But I just wanted to be at the table so that we could collab. I didn't want to not be in the collaborative spirit for this Katrina 20 piece, as well as another Katrina 20, you know, committee that we at the table to participate in, and you know, let them know about what we doing, and just have a whole collaborative spirit. So that's been our goal, because we've been doing this work since last year, honestly, and we just want to collab with everybody. Katrina it was a huge disaster. It affected, you know, millions of people, over 1 million people, and it ain't just for us in this room. It ain't just for us in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just for us in Louisiana. So, you know, we want to make sure, you know, we're inclusive and, you know, move in a collaborative spirit. Let me share. Make sure I'm sharing. So I spoke with B. Mike about the mural as well. So on the levee wall is a part of our walkthrough for the levee. Me and Mr. Washington, we mapped out, you know, a lot of logistical pieces. One at Huntersville, where the rally gonna be at, but then also at the levee wall, how long it'll be, what it'll look like, and we're gonna have pictures and some drawings on some of our suggestions so that, you know, folks can chime in as well. But we spoke about the levy. The Corps of Engineers have they own it or something like that. They got the rights to it, but we in conversation with them to get the commission rights to do the actual work. If we don't get it, I'm gonna do it anyway. But that's neither here nor there. I just like to, you know, keep it $1,000 on it. But we gonna get permission. Permission. I don't even like the words though, but you know. We gonna go through the proper channels to make sure. But the Corps of Engineers, we in conversation with them already to do the mural. All of that stuff is gonna get approved. We also gonna do a Katrina exhibit at Studio B, by B Mike and them spot, and we working on that. So Kev will update us on that also in the next meeting. And I think that was my updates, and we want to open the floor, have an open forum so we can update, share anybody who have an update or anything they want to share, but then also answer any particular questions that could get answered in this space for some of the time that we have left. We got food over there also once we wrap.
I'll give you something.
Have we reached out to the national media? We had a ton of national media here and organizations at the, I guess it was the 5-year?
What, 5, 10,
5-year, the
15?
10, we had a 5-year and the 10-year. I know Rachel Maddow was here. I know a lot of people from, was that the 5-year or was that the?
Every fifth year increment,
right.
national
But
media.
everybody shows up. So the one thing I don't want to find myself doing is stepping on toes and hitting spaces where other folks have already gone. So as soon as I can, I guess, is it going to be accessed on the site someplace in the group chat, wherever, where I can see, we can all see who we've all reached out to?
Yeah, so we haven't reached out to any national media just yet because this is only our 3rd meeting.
Okay.
So it's pretty much fresh, and that's why we still picking committee chairs and all that kind of stuff. So we haven't reached out to any national media. We have reached out to some local media, and we pretty much know that the national media is going to be a part of the story once the marketing and the branding and the push goes out. So that's why it's critical that like this group does what we're intending to do. Also in the meeting with the mayor, like Margaret Orr was in the meeting, and so they was just talking about doing a lot of stuff in the latter part of August. And I made the suggestion, of course, because we already tying in with Essence to do some workshops and some events and stuff, activations with Essence. But I spoke in that group about Jazz Fest and French Quarter Fest and all of the other festivals that happen inside of New Orleans, and making Katrina 20 a part of the conversation, because we missed it with Super Bowl and Mardi Gras because of the terrorist incident. So it was, Katrina 20 was planned to be a part of the conversation then, but then when the terrorist, situation happened, everybody, focused on the current tragedy. But, so our intention is to blitz the media and put it out there in these coming months, along with all of the events that's coming to, New Orleans. And then the Katrina 20 story will be a part of the national media conversation well in advance. And then you're gonna start seeing, because we already getting calls for interviews and different things like that. Spike Lee came down last year for Katrina 19 did stories with Rob and a bunch of other folks, and got footage of the Katrina March and Second Line. So he releasing his 20th anniversary documentary on Netflix this year, as well. And so that's one of the reasons why we shoot the documentary, because we want to capture the stories of the people, and we own the intellectual property, and we control that. So that's one of the reasons we doing that piece.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A slight update from production, logistics, and day of, I was third stage manager, so I can't really get much about the stage until we start getting the acts, their technical needs, their backline, and so forth. So Sess and I went out to the march, and not so much different from before. We're gonna have the mural, which we talked about, which is about a 50-feet space, and we might gonna kind of put that in place. We're still gonna have a small PA system, particular line array, small system, with a Mobox. Mobox is for the media, and the media wants to come in and get an audio feed from audio. We're looking at carpet, podium, step and repeat. I think we talked something about Katrina letters, signage. We want to have the grass cut, and particular vendors, specified vendors that kind of fit what we're doing. So that would look like festive. It would be more festive and more full with activation. So that's logistics, and I'll be providing a layout for that, and some production. As it relates to the event at Hunters Field, we're looking at a large stage. That's the SL 100 with the stage that mobile, that flip, and there's the SL 200. That's a big one that you probably see around. And also with a line array system. The line array system is a system that you see hanging, flying, not boxes. It's a professional sound that's going to be there. We are going to do video, 3 camera switches, stage, B-roll. So you're going to be video production as well. We're also looking at a video screen. We don't know the side that we're going to be 1 or 2 based on spaces. But you'll see it's planned to have video and a video screen, or LED video screen. Step and repeat will still take place at the shelter. We're looking at about 25 quarter left. We want to have the grass cut. So those are some of the production needs and some of the things that we plan to have on site and to activate. You will hear more about that as time comes. You will see more logistics. You will see a production schedule. You will see a running show. You will basically see from when we load in into when we load out. It's going to be all on paper. Who's coming in, when they're coming in, what they're coming in with, who's going to be responsible for what. That's how we come. So that's just update from production.
Help out with art media. I'm Ted Patterson. I help doing media and print organizer. I was just saying on art and media side, I can help with that with the news and stuff too. And looking forward to working with all y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Again, I'm from Xavier University. I wanted to make sure that I said that we're having a research conference or just an academic conference at Xavier University on Saturday the 30th, so the day after the anniversary. And then also just in terms of research, the last time that Dr. Atwater was here, he said that we would try to get some students to research different topics for us to be able to present at the conference. And we're getting into our last month or so of school. So we're about to have to like task students with finding things. And Sess and I had spoke about a few things before, but I wanted to know if there were any particular areas that people wanted research at and things that can be done in scope with, you know, what it is possible to be done for the communities. So before we spoke about, you know, 20-year updates of information, things like what has the cost of living changed like in 20 years, what have wages done, what's up with our population, do we still have a diaspora, you know, those kinds of things where people are living in different locations, how many people return, what cities are New Orleans people in now because of Katrina. And so those are like some questions that we spoke about and that are kind of like looming. I wanted to know if anybody had any other content areas that they had a question in that we would want to task students with finding out more, since I have kind of like a limited amount of time heading into the end of the academic year.
How about the loss of neighborhood? Like, I feel like I was talking with these kids about it before every storm, Camille, Betsy, and now Katrina. We had neighborhoods that looked a certain way, and that was our community. You know, mom, pop shops, and everybody knew everybody's children, and it was 2-3 generations that grew up in that same neighborhood, and maybe their mother owned it, their grandmother owned it, I mean, you know, great-grandmother owned that home. So all the children from each generation knew each other in that capacity that we don't have today with all this gentrification stuff going on. I know that's been a loss. Especially, and another thing is how many times have they opened the levee on us during storms? Like Betsy, Camille, and now Katrina, that supposedly, you know, saved our market places, which Canal Street still don't look the same anymore from when I was a kid to what it is now. There's no more shopping areas, nothing but hotels and t-shirt shops down there, you know, so that's something that no longer, you know, oh my God, it was
Just
something
the,
else.
I understand what you had, just more or less the changes that have been made from the businesses perspective that haven't come back, the communities that haven't thrived since the school changes.
Families and relationships that haven't come back. And home ownership, how much have we lost as far as home ownership? You know, because now most of us are renting, even the people that did come back, you know. A lot of those people that own homes in Gentilly no longer own those homes in that area, in New Orleans East, in Gentilly, in the Lower Ninth Ward. All of that is not owned by Black-owned anymore, you know, the homes themselves.
So we're speaking about the research that possibly want to cover. It's a lot, so you want to narrow that down to like.
Yeah, I don't know how you would.
I teach personally about 50 students. I would think that maybe about half of them would take up the opportunity to research instead of doing quizzes or something like that. And so I was gonna kind of give them a few research topics and have multiple students that are working on a topic to be able to bring something forward. And just see what it is that comes out of that. I know that we have certain questions, they won't be able to find everything. And I'll be able to meet myself and Dr. Atwater and others on the academic committee to to be able to get behind it and see, well, what is it that we could figure out that they couldn't, if we can do that. And then also, I would be thinking about how to best display the information. In my mind, I think poster boards or something that could be in the space while other activities are going on, possibly a booklet or a handout as well. So I appreciate your thoughts on it. Thank you.
I have a quick thought. Brother Elijah brought some up last meeting, and it kind of sparked some thought into me, and it's been going into the process. I don't have one. And it's been going into the thought process. And I was thinking, when you talk about research, maybe if we could research and look into, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, the amount of programs and things that were available and resources that were available to kids, adolescents, teenagers, as far as that goes, as opposed to what it was available directly after Katrina, as opposed to what's available now in that 20-year journey. Therefore, it can show a real-time timeline of where we may have missed the ball, where we can pick the ball up, and that could also give us some focus in driving forward and give us some direction into some purpose into what we're doing as far as with this, as far as it goes. Because I was kind of thinking about, you know, when you brought those things up on how you look at it from your point of view, being of your age group, you know, I didn't realize when people came back from Katrina, there was a lot of, how can we fix this? How can we get this? How can we do this? How can we patch this up? So it was a lot of people that was kind of like just grabbing kids and bringing them with them because they had to, it was a part of the journey. So nobody hasn't really looked at their point of view and how they look at it, as opposed to what wasn't available to them. Because that could show, you know, that 20-year journey on where we missed the ball, where we can go, and maybe bring some of those things back that nobody is looking at because we're so focused on the building, you know, the this, the that, you know what I mean? At the same time, you know we're a product of not being focused on the next generation because we're so focused on what's going on right now. So I was thinking maybe putting some purpose toward that and some focus toward that. You know, because things like, when the last time y'all seen Teen Summit? You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Put it together.
I had just a quick thing that I wanted to add to that, and it basically piggybacks off of that because I was gonna say, how do people feel about our culture being appropriated and people being able to make money and we're not getting anything from it to put back into our communities or to give to our children or take care of our elders or whatever, or just to even fix the streets in the city. You know, like you have a lot of people who have came here from other places and they've made this their home, but then they leave and they take it elsewhere and they're making $1 million off of something that they seen in New Orleans, and they're not even giving back to the pot for what they got.
Something one of them.
Like that light skin second line.
Yeah. The building right behind us was Vineman's grocery store and pharmacist, and in that multi-purpose building though, we grew up bowling alley, a movie house, a skate rink, and it all was in that area. There's nothing back here now for those kids. Nowhere in Gentilly, nowhere in here.
That long headline, baby.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So those are the things that disappeared, and they're never coming back if it's up to, because they're building the building back now. And Vineland's drugstore is gonna be in there, but but it's not doing the old man no more. It's the sons of somebody, just the name. It's name on it. And there's none of the rest of the stuff.
If I may, because see, y'all, we're going to the activist realm of things in terms of where we are as a people. And I think the subject matter is more the research that we want to target for Katrina. We start talking about the night wars, we got to look at. Then you got to start talking about the disparity. Why uptown look at the way it looked and downtown the way it looked. Then you have to go into leadership. Then you have to go into the people allowing it.
Yeah.
So it's a whole slew of conversation when you start talking about why we don't have this, right? You have to go all the way back to 78 when Dutch, we've been having black mayors since Dutch until now. We had 39 black city council members that combined for over 169 years. We had $8 billion came in, we can't name one person with $1 million contract. You can't name 10 or 15 people make 150,000 legally. So we can go into a lot of that, but we're only talking about the research needed, because that's different fights.
Yeah.
People are going to deal with it.
Yeah, that's bigger than the tree, you know. And how you got to it.
But anyway, I just want to say, I like the space that we have a lot of different units, everybody have their own individual things. So I'm more of a conscious kind of person, and I like to see different things that help us enhance our kind. That way see where we are. And one thing I want to say, it doesn't matter what part of the team you are, your absolute value is the same. So everybody in the room is on the same level, no matter if you got a perfect faith, no matter what you do, your value is very, very important. So I just like to put that out there because no one is left out of anything. Whatever you do, no matter how much or how less the value is, so nobody feels left out. And we have different committees, and I would like a copy, everybody have a copy of each committee that we have so we can be conscious and aware of what each committee is doing. That way we can see, we can understand what that, because we might see something that the committee doesn't see, and we understand that committee, we can bring it to their attention and right things. Everybody is a part of what makes us happen.
So y'all got, responsibilities for everybody, and then I'm gonna send this document that has the people who are on each committee, and also the chairs of those committees out to everybody. It'll be shared with y'all along with the minutes, so y'all have access to all that documentation. That way you know, if you wanna call the chair, tell them, look, thought about this, I don't wanna join the committee, but I had an idea, maybe y'all can incorporate it, so a lot of communication.
Two quick things I want to say right quick, piggyback on what you were saying, that's a part of the cultural ambassador part, because we want to shed light on, like you said, the good that came out of Katrina, so we want to show the young successful black entrepreneurs that came out of Katrina afterwards. So not alone will we be saying who allowed certain things to happen, we could also support the cultural ambassadors that do what they do and put some footing behind them. That way we don't gotta say, well, this person not doing this person not doing that. We now looking at our cultural ambassadors, getting behind them, feeding them, whatever it is to get them forward. Two, the second thing I wanted to say, when you was talking about research, it just it's been bothering me since it's been bothering me. If there's anything possible, and it probably be something to do with the climate piece of some sort or something. But they used to have these marsh burnings after Katrina. I don't know if y'all remember coming out the east or whatever, right?
Marsh fires?
The marsh fires, supposed marsh fires or whatever, right? So we've been living in New Orleans for however long, forever, right? I don't remember no marsh fire ever being that bad. And I can remember the supposed marsh fire lasted for weeks at a time, then it stopped.
Yeah.
Then some months later, they did it again and it came back. I don't believe that was marsh fires. I believe something totally different. If you could get somebody to find and figure it out, because I say without thinking, I probably say, I believe it was Katrina fires, me personally. I believe that's what they did. How else? I mean, I know they supposedly got incinerators and all this different stuff, but
We took the bodies out of Paris. We took all the bodies out and sent them to a burial site. I'll get back with you on that, but it took.
Only ones that were recovered.
Took the bodies out.
Some of them went out.
that's what they think.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for coming out. So if you sign the QR code, your email, you'll get all of the notes and the documents, and you'll get all the information. Also, I have a group meeting that we share, but tap in with the folks that's in your committee. We'll all get back together in 2 weeks, April 10th. Y'all have a great day. We got some food on the other side. Thank y'all again for a great meeting.
Anybody in those first two committees that want to make sure that the chairperson, hello, anybody in those, I know it's you, and I know you, Pastor
Green, it's green.
Green, I always.
What's up?
Green.
What's up? I know this young man. I don't ever know, you know. As long as he been here. As long as he been here. That's how, look, that's how long.